Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 14 of this NHL 24 Montreal Canadiens franchise mode here on my channel. Today we're going to be getting into the 2027-28 regular season, and let's get into it because we've got comments to get to from last episode as far as questions I left you guys with. We're also going to reference a few episodes back just to make sure that we do this whole regular season thing properly this year and that we aren't doing a whole bunch of featured games like we did in the Chicago series and things like that. But yeah, let's get to it. So I had two questions for you guys last episode that I left in the comments. The first was being, should we keep manually scouting or should we set it to auto scouting for the upcoming season? And the second question was, what should we do with our defensive backlog situation? Because we have a ton of good defensemen right now. So the first one here came from Hockey Visual saying keep the manual scouting on because you get so many good draft steals. And Sophia Ching said, I would say keep manual scouting for the upcoming season. As far as the defensive situation goes, it seems like Goulet will be stagnant at 83 and Pelech is much higher, even though he's a bit older. But I think Grandpierre and Cullimore will have lots of room to grow, so I'd suggest you trade Goulet and maybe a pick for a higher overall defender. Okay, so that's an interesting first comment there. Peaceful said, love that you're making more videos. Keep it up, Etanyos. You're the man. Also, I would suggest that you scout because at some point you'll be too stacked in every... Or he said I would suggest you auto scout because at some point you'll be too stacked in every position, and with the D, make a trade sometime during the halfway point through next year. Okay, great comment as far as timeline goes there from Peaceful. Charles Castanguay said, wish I could give feedback about the defensive backlog situation. I don't really know my stuff. I'm just getting back into hockey, and these videos have really been bringing back memories from my childhood. Thank you for the amazing comments. So you're welcome, Charles. Glad you're enjoying it. Braden Cream said you should manually scout. You find some really good steals when you do that. So it looks like we're looking at about 3-1 right now on manually scouting still. Judah Nanas said you should move Doc at the deadline to get some room in the cap for re-signing in the summer, or right away and replacing him with Beck. Same for Goulet since you don't need him. Even Patches should go, clean up the house, get rid of some of the dead wood, just get some picks on future drafts. Please continue to scout. It's really cool. Love the series. Keep them coming. Awesome comment there. And he also said, oh, and Hudson deserves the A. He deserves it so much. Okay, so very insightful comments there from Judah. Great comments. So Big Lou said, Grandpierre, more like Grandpère, which if you don't know what that means, or Grandpère, which means grandfather in French. But yeah, if you guys didn't know what that means, he's saying that because... Where is he? Is he even here? I was going to say it's because he can't skate, but I guess Grandpierre actually can skate. So I guess maybe more like Yves would be the old name there. The Real Divinity said auto scout for the upcoming season. Just do your way of scouting for the next season. And for the alternate captain, he suggests Doc 1, Dunn 2, and Evans 3. So interesting comments there. All right. So yeah, at this point, we definitely... I personally agree more with having probably Hudson as the other alternate here besides Suzuki and Caulfield, just because he is a little bit... I guess he's only 23 right now, so... We do have a pretty young core. I was going to name Goulet the next captain here, and yeah, for the money, he's probably not worth it at $4.8 million. I do really like his game as far as how physical he can be and just play in all situations, but we have other guys that can do that too, which is kind of the problem here. The main thing with Goulet is that he is big, he's 6'2", which, you look at our defense overall, it's not the biggest defensive core. We have quite a few guys that are 6'1", 5'10", like not big defenders, so yeah, we'll see if that causes any issues this upcoming year. Currently, I think the goaltending is really where it needs to be, and having Daigle coming up the system is super exciting. But yeah, overall, we have some really great contracts. We just, as the one comment there from Judah said that we should just clean it up a little bit. That one comment is, I think, exactly what we needed. So, yeah, without further ado, let's continue on here because really, you look at this lineup overall and nothing wrong with it. Kirby Dach is probably a tad bit expensive for what we're getting out of him. Again, Joshua Waugh becoming an elite has really secured that second line center position for us, even if he only has 73 faceoffs currently. We'll still make it work because he's just simply that good. So yeah, that is currently where we're at. Of course, we're going to have Ruben Bois and Andrew Staubitz probably moving up the lineup here within the next season or two at the very latest, because guys like Heineman, I mean, we got Heineman on a freaking fabulous contract as well. It's really more so going to be guys like Massey and Caswell that we have to sign within 2 seasons, so those are going to be the big contracts coming up. Apart from that, like Suzuki and Caulfield have 3 and 4 years left. Let's see. Hudson's obviously on that ridiculous $8.4 million contract. Vince Dunn is overly expensive, but we had cap space to spend for those next 2 seasons. And then, yeah, Ryan Backer's on a great contract too. So, yeah, currently I think we're going to be doing just fine. I think we'll probably end up playing Dunn and Hudson as the top pairing. We'll go, I'm thinking Cullimore and Reinbacher as the second. Maybe that's not going to work. We'll have to kind of wait and see because, yeah, it looks like Cullimore just doesn't really fit all that well, unfortunately. Maybe Grandpierre does, though. Let's see. No, he does not. Okay. Well, we can play Pellich and Reinbacher as the second pairing, which I think is a fair grouping. I've got nothing wrong with that. But yeah, as far as depth defense goes, we have Mailloux, we have Harris, we have Xhekaj, we have guys that can fill that 7th D-man role. And I think Xhekaj is probably going to be the guy, simply because that just makes the most sense to me. Unless you guys see a need for something else, then yeah, Xhekaj can be that extra guy. We can get pieces back for Goalie. And then, honestly, Greaves should probably be our backup goalie this year, but he's going to be getting another start here really in the A. And then Sergei Ulanov we probably should be playing, as well as Marty Oljevich, because those guys are both good enough to be in our team. Let's see. Who's out? Probably Armia. Kim Dansk should actually be there. Yeah, that'll work. Put Oljevich there. Keeps the chemistry. Great. And then what we can do is we can move Elias Anderson up if we don't get a whole bunch of pieces back. I think that will probably be what happens more than anything else. But you know what? To start things off, let's get rolling here because, you know, overall, even though a Dach trade was suggested, I think we're going to keep Kirby Dach for now, at least, because why trade a power forward on that awesome-looking third line? Like, that is a very good third line. The only reason would be to move Ruben Bois up, but he doesn't actually have X factors or anything like that yet. He looks great, but we got to give him a little bit more time, I would say, even though he looks fabulous. Like, I'm really excited to see if he can actually put up some numbers. But when we look at the power play and everything else going on here, you know, maybe Bois gets a shot here or there, but like at the moment he's a 4th liner, so he's gonna have to really prove it if he wants to get into the power play. So yeah, that's pretty much all we're looking at right now. Staubitz getting PK time makes total sense because he's a grinder, which means grinders are going to be able to kill off penalties better than anybody else pretty much. So yeah, okay. Like we set this whole lineup last episode. Feels like last year. But yeah, when we set this lineup last episode, I was pretty certain on just about everything apart from the defense, which you guys have come to the conclusion that Goalie is the guy that we're probably going to end up moving, which, you know, fair enough. $4.8 million for the next 7 years. Not a huge price tag, but big enough that it might not be the best number. So let's see what a Caden Gooley deal would look like. Severson, nope. Mikula and 2/3, nope. Giroux, yeah, these are not very sexy deals. I mean, Pyrala maybe. Not that we need more players like that, but there aren't really a lot of other options here either. Could be Barlow maybe, or Bobolev. Let's see how good Barlow and Bobolev are. Okay, Bobolev is actually pretty sweet. So we could potentially look at him. How good's Barlow? 76 at 22. His stats were horrible last year. Okay. I feel like we could probably get a better deal. I don't know. That's just me, but like, let's just see what else. Could we go Gooley in our first next year and see? No, nobody wants our first next year. What about San Jose second? Still no trades found. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want third round picks back for Gooley. I feel like he's on a good enough contract that we could probably get better return from other players. Maybe that's just me, but that is how I feel. And not only that, but I feel like Gooley's going to end up where Pelech is right now at some point anyways. Yeah, he might take till he's 33, but like Gooley's only 25. He's got another 8 years before he's there. And yeah, Pelech deal is pretty terrible as well. Okay, that's not great. I don't think anybody can... I don't know, a couple teams can actually stomach this Vince Dunn cap space, which is insane. But they're not really worth it, and I don't want Carter Verhaeghe in a second for 4 years. Oh boy, okay. Well, that's our current situation. It's really not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. Serge Denis, or Danis, I'm going to say Denis. Serge Denis looks good. Like, he looks really good for an 18-year-old, but we're just going to have to hold off a little bit longer there. Yeah, oh, man, I don't know. I really don't know if we're going to trade Gooley this year. That's frustrating. Because, yeah, that's just not the deal I was looking for. Kirby Dach's our second best center. I don't see a point in trading him yet. Especially not when the return is either Noah Cates or Anthony Beauvillier. Meanwhile, we've got Dach signed to a $6.5 million deal for the next 7 years. Yeah, no, we're just gonna hold out with this current team. I apologize, guys, because I know you all offered suggestions, but the return here was just not good enough. Simple as that. So we'll wait on Gooley, probably trade him at the deadline kind of thing, something like that. Maybe we won't trade him. We'll see what happens, but I think we're going to try to maximize Caden Gooley's playability here over, I want to say over Yves Grand-Pierre, but at the same time, if we send, like, Cullimore's the same overall, he is top 4, but everybody in here is top 4. We could play Grand-Pierre on the top. Like, Grand-Pierre on the top along with Gooley or along with Hudson would probably be really good. That's freaking frustrating, man. I don't like that, unfortunately. Because I don't want to play Reinbacher that far down the lineup. Alright, this is the lineup we're going with. I really did not change much apart from shuffled the defense around a little bit, but I think we're ready to go. I just have to do the actual scouting now because scouting does take its sweet time. But yeah, I'll be back with you guys once we have the initial scouting reports done here and we're ready to sim ahead. I'm just going to kind of clip it month by month as we go here because I think that's going to be the most efficient. You guys probably don't have too many preferences on like which rivalries and things like that you really want to or need to see for the regular season. I think it's just going to be quicker if we do a month by month kind of summary and recap. So yeah, that's what we're going to stick with. I'll go, okay, this was our record for this month. This is where we sit after this month kind of thing. And yeah, we'll go from there. So then that'll make the sim a little bit more efficient. All right, guys, so as we get through the scouting, I'm not quite done yet because we actually need another Q scout because I simply just do not have enough scouts in the queue to get all our scouting done there. So yeah, we're going to be advancing a couple days here and waiting for a scout to actually come in and get hired. Louis Giroux, out of all names, very, I would say, pretty solidly French Canadian kind of name, but yeah, let's get Giroux a contract going here and a report and an assignment to do because, as you can see, quite a few of these guys from 159 onwards are not scouted in the QMJHL, which is not going to fly because we are a Quebec team. So yeah, anyways, let's continue on here. Now that we are in, what is this? This has got, we're quite a few years into this save at this point. So let's see. We are 4 years in. This is year 5 now. But yeah, with year 5, like, it's gonna be an interesting year for sure. And I think the largest thing for us as a team here in Montreal is that we're defending cup champs. We're going to have to try to actually defend the cup, which is no easy task. So we're going to simulate up to the 1st of November here. We're going to be getting a ton of trade offers probably, which is okay with me. I am not trading 3 prospects for Verana. No chance. As far as this budget goes, we're definitely going to pump most of the money into arena operations to get pretty much everything else done here as far as upgrading our stadium for what's probably the last time. So yeah, we'll do that. And then, okay. Looks like we won our first 2 preseason games, which isn't really surprising given the caliber of team we have. Maxime Massey's got 3 goals so far. That's pretty sweet. And we have to do more scouting because that's just how this works here. All right, well, now that we're through round 2 of scouting, we can finish up the regular season and finish up the preseason, get onto the regular season. That's what I meant. But yeah, okay, let's get going here. So, looks like we are cruising, quite literally cruising through the preseason, which kind of makes sense based on how good this team is. And all right, well, we lost to Florida, but that's okay. We go 6-1. Maxime Massey has possibly the best preseason I've ever seen. It's not quite that good, but it was pretty darn close. So let's see, we're gonna take the A off of Patches and slap it on Hudson, and now we're ready to go. So yeah, all right, this team means business. The only other thing I'm gonna do here is throw not Kapanen but Anderson up, and we are good to go. So let's get into this month-by-month season simulation. I'm obviously going to stop up in camera cuts and such to do scouting, but in the first month here of October, we're just going to go straight to the end of October. We've got 2, 4, 6 games, so we'll see how our record is after these first 6. And the other thing, I just completely forgot to show you guys is the team overall, but we started off winning our first 2 games, so that's very solid. Let's just hit play game here and see what the team ratings are looking like. Whew, okay, so we got 100 offense, 95 defense, and 88 goaltending. That is extremely solid this year. Oh no, okay, so we lost Reinbacher with a rib injury and then proceeded to lose pretty badly to Calgary, and then we lose Yves Grandpierre with an injury. And we go from 3-3 to then 3-2-1, or sorry, 3-0 to 3-2-1. So not a particularly fabulous first month there, but you know, it happens. So we'll simulate up to the next little stretch here. Oh my goodness, our cat wants out. But yeah, we'll simulate up to the next kind of stretch of games. Oh my goodness, Massey's up to an 89. He's 21. This dude is scoring a lot. Like, a lot. But we got Grandpierre back, which is good because we obviously had that Grandpierre injury and that Reinbacher injury. I need to check how long Reinbacher's out for because he has just struggled with injuries over the last couple of seasons. But hey, look at Caulfield so far. We've only played 9 games. Like, we potentially have 4 games in hand. We could very easily catch the Bruins if we win our next 4 games. Ouch, I scratched that. But yeah, we got to do more scouting here. Alright, round 3 of scouting's now done with the skills assessment there, which is perfect as far as what we need to do. And, alright, so let's continue on here, as this is really taking its sweet time on the sim. So, now that we are off and running again, we'll finish off this month and see how it goes. And there we go, we finally get Reinbacher back, which is great because we could use his scoring abilities for sure. Oh my goodness, Caulfield's having a year. I guess not scoring abilities so much as just defending abilities because, yeah, he doesn't score a whole lot. Pelech has scored more than him, which is pretty funny because Pelech isn't particularly a guy that you look at and go, yeah, he's going to score a lot. Yeah, not really. Anyways, as we continue on, we just continue to lose tons of players' injuries. I'm pretty sure I have injuries cranked about as low as they can go. But we will continue on here. Yeesh. Yeah, this has been a month for us for sure. Like, it's just constant injuries. Yeesh. Okay, so we barely broke even here in November as we went 6-6, which is not good. Not good at all. 6-6 is a horrible record. So we'll sim December and hope and pray that it goes better, and immediately Caulfield gets a concussion. Fabulous. Just fabulous. Alright guys, so in December, the Canadiens go 9-5, yet we're still chasing a playoff spot, as you can see from the standings there. Yes, 4 games in hand, sure, we've got one of the slowest records, apparently, or slowest schedules in the league, but up to December so far, it hasn't been a grind, but it's been a lot of injuries. Like, we have had so many injuries, like 3 separate injuries to Cole Caulfield, and he's still 4th in team scoring. Like, it doesn't really get much better than that, but, you know, Slav, Hudson, and Suzuki are all just rolling at this point. Wayne Hudson is pretty much an assist per game, which is insane. And then Slavkovsky's scoring well. Caulfield's got 19 goals. Massey's got 14. And same with Joshua Waugh, who has 14. Like, those guys are playing really well in spite of being a minus as our second line. It's not really surprising those guys are a minus on the plus-minus. It's just getting used to the league still, I think, is what they're probably struggling with the most. And then, of course, Joffrey Cullimore just got injured. Our goalies are looking both pretty horrendous so far. That's the whole reason why we're not winning, or not in a winning spot right now, even though we are 18-14 on the year. But yeah, as we get into January, we got another scouting date coming up here on the 20th. But yeah, we'll go up until then. And yeah, I'll just cut it because you guys don't really need to see the scouting overall. You can go watch my scouting tutorial if you haven't already. So finally get Cullimore back, even though we lost somebody else down in the system. Massey's playing really well for a 21-year-old. I am extremely happy with that. Caden Gooley's turning into a question here as to if we're even going to be able to trade him. I mean, yeah, this is going to be a tough one for sure. Alright, so with even more scouting done, we're good to continue on in the calendar sim, and yeah, currently we're now sitting around and in a wildcard spot, which we've been chasing all year, but that's just how it tends to go here. Let's see how these last few games finish out in January, and then we'll do a recap on that, and we, again, just immediately lose another player to injury. Okay, so guys, in the month of January, we went 12-3. 12-3. We're up to a 30-16-1 record, and somehow we're still in a wild card spot. Like, on most teams, I would be like, oh, 30-16, that's a great record. But no, the Toronto Maple Leafs have a 32-11-6 record, and then a bunch of other teams have like 3, 4, even 5 games in hand on us, like the Bruins. 61 points currently puts us, we've got to be something like 8th, 7th in NHL standings. Like something high, like really high, considering we're in a wild card spot. Yeah, we're in 8th place and we're in a wild card. That is insane. Holy. Okay, well, we'll continue on. Hopefully that we don't get sewered by our own division, because that could very well happen here. But yeah, we just got a lot of simming ahead, and we'll see how February goes. Alright guys, so this following month we go 8-3. Another great month from the Canadiens. We're up to 38-19-1 on the season, which again, for most teams would be good enough to be in a guaranteed playoff spot. But we're not. Somehow we are not. And I don't know what to say to that. So anyways, let's sim up to the trade deadline at this point. Really, we've got no more scouting for the rest of the regular season. We're selling tickets like crazy because we're in Montreal. We're going to do a little bit less season ticket advertising, a little bit more game ticket advertising, a little more general. And alright, we are at the deadline. We're going to keep our current status, and we're going to enter the trade deadline here. So, looks like we got some big names on the block, mainly being Quinn Hughes. Not that we need another player like Quinn Hughes, but I mean, we could get a deal done for him technically. Not that we're going to. There's no way we would trade David Reinbacher for Quinn Hughes, but yeah, I would say our team's in pretty solid shape currently. We got 492 rated players on the team. We got 588 plus rated players. Oh my god, Jeffrey? Jameson Saunders is up to a 79 overall at 20 years old in Shawinigan, where he has scored 79 points in just 48 games. That is absolutely absurd. Roenick and Bodwin are both looking very solid too. Jean Baudouin's looking really, really good. And then any other growth? Not really. What kind of deals we got for Gooley? We got a lot of picks offered here, so. Is that Sidney Crosby? No, I mean, we're not going to do that, but it's funny. It's funny. Tristan Jarry's there. He's also got to be getting old at this point. Not good enough trades. I'm sorry. Like, I want to hold on to Gooley. I would rather hold on to Gooley, because at least he'll still be serviceable by the time that what's his face? At least he'll still be serviceable by the time that we lose Pellich, which is still one more year down the road, but that's fine. And really, a lot of these contracts are Patches and Gallagher aren't great contracts, but maybe they'll retire. You never know. And as far as the tendies go, we are in fine shape back there in goal. We've got a lot of very solid goalies. We don't have a first-round pick this year, which it is what it is. If we need to trade up at the draft, we have the assets to do so. But I think we just stick it out, go with what we got, and yeah, I think we'll be fine. Honestly, I don't see us needing to make any big trades here. Cullimore's up to an 84, which is really sweet. Grandpierre's also up to an 84, which, like, our team doesn't need anything, which is probably the best part about being this team. What is a, oh, Spencer Knight's on Columbus? Yo, what? I know he's only, like, a couple ratings better than, what's his face, Askarov here, but, like, I'm pretty sure Columbus would take that deal. I just don't know how good Spencer Knight would be. Like, I'd be interested to see what Columbus would want back in a deal for Spencer Knight. Oh, come on. Come on, game. Like, that's obviously not what I'm trying to do. You're just being glitchy now. Find an open block trade. Nope, nothing available. Go figure. Alright, let's look at Stats Central again here, because this is a tad bit important. God, that's a huge trade. No chance. I'm just very interested to see. Like, Askarov and Daigle are both not anywhere near. They're both under 900, which isn't good. Knight's a 901 with 17 wins in 51 games. He has seen a ton of shots. 1,508 saves this year. I don't think either of our goalies is anywhere near that. Oh no, I guess, yeah, Askarov's close, but okay, you know what? We're just leaving it as is, sticking with the mess, going with it, and yeah, we started off with quite a few losses here to start off this month, but you know, some big trades, nothing crazy, but big enough trades that you'd kind of expect at the deadline. Lots of firsts being thrown around though, so yeah, all right, let's finish off this month and go from there. So guys, the month of March went very, very, very well for the Canadiens, as we now sit with 103 points and are top of the league. We caught up in games, which was also great, and we also went on, hold on, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we're on a 14 game point streak. We were, at one point in the month, on a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 game winning streak. And our record would have been, oh man, what are we looking at here? This is insane. We went 12-1-2 in March. 12 wins, 1 loss, and 2 overtime or extra time losses. And we're up to 103 points. Suzuki is now over an assist per game with 93 points on the year. I can't imagine Hudson's far behind him. Oh yeah, he's a little ways behind him, 84. But yeah, Suzuki has just been the guy this year. Caulfield's got 50 goals in 65 games. And I am now interested to see, where do our guys sit across the whole league? Not even that close, really. Holy... Kucherov has 63 goals. He's going to be pushing cap record, because I don't think... Has Matthews broken 70 in here? Nope. Caulfield had 58. Skinner had 65. Caulfield also had 56. Yeah, no, Kucherov's going to be pushing cap record here. Cole Yzerman on San Jose looks filthy. as a 21-year-old. That's insane. Suzuki's up there, though. Like, he's got to be second in assists. Yeah, behind Braden Point, no doubt. Hudson's fourth. And goal scoring wise, Matthews, wow, okay, there's how many players? 4 players ahead of Caulfield when it comes to goal scoring. That's absurd. Although, if you look at goals per game pace, I would say only probably Matthews and Kucherov are ahead of Caulfield right now, which, fair enough. Best rookie skater, Matt Lane, that number 1 overall pick, has 54 points in Pittsburgh there. He's looking really good. Nikita Ivanov looks really good, too. And then, yeah, Ruben Bois has got 29 points, 20 goals, which I wasn't expecting. 29 points for Owen Beck, too. And then Staubitz has got 23, which, solid. Like, very solid for the team that we've got here and the depth positions those guys are playing. Askarov's got tied for the most wins along with Mackenzie Blackwood in Boston, which is awesome. And Lane Hudson is leading the defenseman race because he has an absurd amount of points, and he also has the tied for 6th most defenseman goals, which is really awesome. But yeah, that is the current status. We're not quite done this season, but we're getting really close here. And then we'll conclude the episode and jump into the playoffs in the next one because that's just how we're formatting these. But it has been that was a hell of a month for the Canadiens. There's no other way for me to put that. And we've got 9 games left here to finish off the season. So let's see how we do. We get Vince Dunn back, which is also going to be an incredibly helpful position in our team because, while yes, Grand Pierre was fabulous alongside Hudson, I think it's time we get Hudson somebody who can score again because nobody else has really been able to give him a +5 overall rating. But alright, let's continue on here, and you know what? Looks like we're dropping a little bit. Maybe not. We'll see if we can continue to win. Ooh, another injury. Come on. We're going to bring Galley back. What? Oh, we must have had a goalie fix. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. So we need to send Tulipov back down. Go figure. That makes more sense. This team is filthy. Holy moly. We get caught by Toronto? We did. We did get caught by Toronto in that game. Man, we needed that win right there. And, alright, we win the last 2 games, putting ourselves 115 points, 55 wins. Do regulation wins not count for anything? Should we not be higher up in the standings than... Ooh, okay. Suzuki didn't even break 100. I thought for sure he would with those remaining games, but I guess not. But, how did we not finish first in our division? It should be right... What? Oh no, regulation wins is right there. Okay, yeah, they had 50 regulation wins. We won 10 in extra time. That's crazy. Okay. Wow. Yeah, okay, we won 10 in extra time. We'll finish second place. The Montreal Canadiens will finish first, as we do not repeat on President's Trophies, which, is okay. We had a better season than last year, which is even crazier. It was only by 2-point difference. But yeah, the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be your President's Trophy winners. The worst team in the league, on the other hand, was the Nashville Predators. And, wow, Columbus was really bad, too. So yeah, let's look at player stats here quickly. And all right, Suzuki's going to have a 99-point season. Lane Hudson has an 89-point season. We also get 88 points out of Slavkovsky, which is very solid, and 81 out of Caulfield considering he was injured. We just miss out on a point per game Joshua Waugh, who had a heck of a year at just 18 minutes of ice time a game. Clark Caswell had a year or two with 74 points, and Maxim Massey had 71, scoring 39 goals, which is the second highest on our entire team after, of course, Goal Caulfield. Most assists goes to Suzuki, along with most points, go figure. And then our rookies this year were pretty standout, I would say. Those 5 guys really helped us become a top team in the league. Gabriel Daigle won 13 out of 20, so solid numbers there. 42 wins for Yaroslav Askarov is tied with last year, actually, as to how many he was able to win. He had 0 shutouts, though, which seems a little absurd considering how good our team was. But I guess we were just run and gun offense all year, and Nikita Kucherov scores 70 goals. So does Austin Matthews. Wow. Only a 6-point difference between those two as Kucherov gets a few more assists. Braden Point has 91 assists on the year, which is absurd as well. And yeah, Caulfield finishes 5th in goal scoring this year. Very solid numbers there. Most assists, Suzuki finished 3rd, behind, of course, Kucherov's 2 line mates in Brandon Hagel and Braden Point, which, again, just unfair stat numbers there. But yeah, as far as rookie skaters go, Matt Lane is your top guy. Ruben Bois lands 3rd, which, all good there. Askarov is tied with Samsonov for most wins. I highly doubt Askarov wins the Vezina, though. Defensively, Lane Hudson was 9 points ahead of Cale Makar. Very solid stat there, considering Makar is 98 rated and Hudson's only 93 rated. So yeah, that was that. Awesome season from the Canadiens again. We'll see who we're playing. I would bet on probably the Boston Bruins, but you never know. It might be, as far as the entire Eastern Conference goes, we will probably get, we might get the Carolina Hurricanes, depending on how that crossover works, because the top 4 teams were all in the Atlantic Division, and then the Metro teams, top 5 teams were all in the Atlantic Division. The bottom 3 were in the Metro. What? Hold on, really? The bottom 3 were in the Metro. Like, there were 5 teams in the Atlantic that were better than all the teams in the Metro. That might be the most insane. I'm sorry guys, I just clued in on how many 100-point teams were in one division. The poor Panthers getting 88 points and not even being remotely near a playoff spot. 92 for Minnesota is also tough. That was a very good Central Division this year. Wow, what a year indeed. So, as we just wrap this season up, we're just gonna go upgrade that nice and quickly, get our owner goal requirements done there. Probably upgrade concession, and then we'll wait on, let's do parking lot 2 here as well. And then we might be just short, we'll see. We might have enough money to upgrade the club seats too, because we want to max out all of our arena amenities here, which would be great. And yeah, overall I would say our team's doing pretty good. Everybody's pretty happy with the prices that we're setting, and we are the number 2 team in the last 7 days. Never mind the last year. The Canadiens have been raking in the money. No doubt about that. Who's number 1? Oh, the New York Rangers. Wait, no. Boston Bruins are number 1. Interesting. Okay. At least as far as the year goes. All time. Yeah, okay. All 3 original 6 teams. Actually, almost all just original 6 teams in there. Apart from Or no, was that all original 6? Am I dumb? Yeah, the Red Wings are missing. That's my bad. I'm like, Philly isn't an original 6. What are we talking about here? Detroit is kind of in shambles, not gonna lie. They really probably could be doing better. Anyways, that's where we're at. That's how it's going. Things are looking very good in Montreal right now. And as far as player growth goes, well, I don't really have to say anything. You guys can just take a look. Oh my god. Bellamy hit 78 overall. Prospects galore. I don't know what else to say. Just simply prospects galore. Tony Bellamy doubled his point totals in less games. Yeah, we're going to be a good team for a long, long time here in Montreal, and it's going to be fun. So, yeah, that is where we're going to wrap this one up. If you guys enjoyed watching the Canadiens beat their regular season record by a total of 1 win from last year, then make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, and hit notifications. And of course, make sure to respond to those comments I have left in the comment box below. But I will see you guys in the next one when we hit the playoffs for the 2028 Stanley Cup Championship. And we'll see if the Canadiens can defend. But that is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.